Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and I'm here to do my camera comparison between the Oppo Reno5 Pro and the Xiaomi Mi 11. Now before we jump into it, I've loved my time with both of these phones and don't really want to jump too in depth with the specs, but what are the key differences between these phones? Clearly the Mi 11 is more of a flagship device with the latest Snapdragon 888 processor versus the Dimensity 1000 Plus on the Oppo Reno5 Pro. You have an aluminum build versus a very nice but plastic build here with a glass kind of insert on the top. 6.81 inch WQHD versus 6.55 inch Full HD display, 120 Hz versus 90 Hz. With a 4,350 mAh battery, 65 watt fast charging versus 4,600 mAh and 55 watt fast charging. And of course you have ColorOS 11 versus MIUI 12. And of course there is a price difference between these phones, with the Reno5 Pro coming in at around 500 euros versus the 749 euro price point for the Xiaomi Mi 11. And in my opinion, in their respective categories of affordable flagship, both of these phones are offering something great to the table here. But that's not the point of this video. Let's jump in now to the camera comparison between these phones. And so what are the key specs you need to know about? Main cameras, we have a 64 megapixel IMX686 on the Oppo Reno5 Pro versus a 108 megapixel HM1 main sensor on the Mi 11. And those are f1.7 versus 1.9 respectively. You have an 8 megapixel f2.2 versus f2.4, 13 megapixel ultra wide. And lastly, you have the 5 megapixel macro camera on the Xiaomi Mi 11, while the Oppo Reno5 Pro settles for those 2 megapixel macro and depth sensors. 4K 30 FPS max video on the Oppo Reno5 Pro versus 8K 30 or 4K 60 on the Mi 11. And on the fronts, we have a 32 megapixel versus 20 megapixel front cameras, f2.4 versus f2.2, with 1080p 30 versus 1080p 60 max video recording on these phones. And here's the camera app for both of these phones. I think a lot of phones are now kind of employing with being able to swipe through the various modes on the Reno5 Pro, while here on the Mi 11 you still have to kind of click through to those. And these phones have plenty of other kind of fun features like movie effects on the Mi 11 versus the AI video, dual video, and other kind of filter videos that you have on this Oppo Reno5 Pro. And the shutter on both of these phones is very fast, almost identical in terms of their speed for taking photos. And so what are the results between the Oppo Reno5 Pro and the Xiaomi Mi 11 in both photos and video? Well, I was out the other day and I took a number of shots in kind of a late afternoon and evening setting. Can the Oppo Reno5 Pro surprise us all and take the victory here from the Xiaomi Mi 11? Let's have a look at these samples and talk about them when we get back.
Thank you.
And this is rear-facing video on the Oppo Reno5 Pro and the Xiaomi Mi 11 shooting in 4K 30 FPS. And stabilization looks really good on the Mi 11, but the Oppo Reno5 Pro doesn't have OIS, so stabilization will not be as good with 4K video. But listen to the mics here, how they sound, and hit me up in the comments, what do you think? And this is front-facing video on the Oppo Reno5 Pro and the Xiaomi Mi 11 shooting in 1080p 30 FPS. And it looks a bit more cropped on the Mi 11, but the colors I think look better as well. Pretty sunny day here in Hong Kong, as you can see. A bit overexposed, but listen to the mics here, how they sound, and hope you guys are doing well, staying safe, and hit me up in the comments, what do you think? So what'd you guys think? Did the Oppo Reno5 Pro take the victory here, or did the Mi 11 hold its own? Guys, I was actually very impressed with the Oppo Reno5 Pro's main camera output. It actually delivered solid results on a number of these shots. And yet once the night came, I think the lack of OIS definitely made itself apparent on this phone. And in the case of the Mi 11, especially in these zoom shots, those are tough shots for any smartphone camera to take. But the Mi 11 was able to just capture more detail and just more clarity. And I really think this is one of the benefits of this 108 megapixel main camera, that it's able to crop in. You still get a lot of detail at the 10 times or even 30 times zoom shots. And so overall, in photo capabilities, I do give the edge here to the Xiaomi Mi 11. It still offers better dynamic range and just better quality images than the already great IMX686 sensor that I've seen on a number of phones. And in video, the Mi 11 also takes the edge here with just more stabilized and more richly detailed video output. Not to say the Oppo Reno5 Pro did poorly, but if anything, the lack of OIS definitely doesn't help in this case. And even with EIS, this is really something that you only see at the full HD level. 4K video is a lot more shaky than I would like, and this is where I think the lack of OIS on this camera just makes it struggle to keep up with the video capabilities of the Mi 11. Now, both of these phones can deliver a really fun time though when shooting video with the dual video, filter video, and AI video capabilities of the Reno5 Pro. But the Mi 11 answers back with these great movie effects, clone video, and just a better quality, I think, video result with mics that have been far improved and deliver better sound than the Oppo Reno5 Pro. So the Mi 11 takes the video crown here between these two, and last but not least, the final verdict between these two phones. If I only had to give it to one, that's right, it's going to the Xiaomi Mi 11. The Oppo Reno does a great job hanging in there, but the Mi 11 just delivers the better results both in photos and video capabilities. And that's why it's so exciting to see what we're going to get with this Mi 11 Ultra, because it's going to take the camera capabilities of this Mi 11 to the next level. But overall, guys, I think for the price, the Oppo Reno5 Pro still delivers excellent results, and you will be happy with the images you get from this phone. But hit me up in the comments. Oppo Reno5 Pro or Xiaomi Mi 11? Which phone would you pick as the winner of this camera test? Hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for future updates. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you did want to see a full in-depth comparison between these phones, do let me know. And shout out once again to both Oppo and Xiaomi for delivering such excellent phones in this first few months of 2021. So that's it. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one. There's no denying it, guys. Whichever phone you pick, you're going to have a beautiful device in your hands.